Embryon Squawk and Talk board. Came in with 8-volt deluxe ROMs installed. I burned new ROMs and tested all the chips on here and had to re-jumper U5 to get a 2732 in there. And I've started a game here on my test bench, and I'm going to twiddle some buttons here just to show you that it does make some noise when
malfunction.
It'll once you get it in the game, you can set the background sound to play when like you want it to. But now I'm going to hit the test switch.
Commence light functional. Let's say you energize, rejuvenate, activate, malfunction. Light begins. Final stage in progress. Life support activated. Embryon incubator. Embryonic.
So there's all the sound tests, and now it'll reboot itself. By the way, here's the correct boot sequence for Embryon.
Final
Just
stage
like
in Embryon 3-ball.
So let's move over to the client's next board, and this is a little interface board that appears on a Bally Atlantis. And Atlantis uses a 6803 processor system, and it didn't have 12 volts anywhere in the system. So this board, here's the schematic for it, doesn't do a whole lot except for take 14 volts in, as it says here. It's really about 12, 5 and ground. And it uses this LT1054 to generate both plus, or the plus 14 gets carried through, and then it generates a minus 12 volts output from this negative regulator and through this 2N3904. So the problem with this board was that the connection between R6, which is a 0-on jumper, and pin 8 had been fractured. So I jumpered the back of the board, and I just tested that. There's the green wire jumper. I'll clean up all that flux residue before I send it back. And the last thing was this D-11581 soundboard that goes into Atlantis. I can't test it with Atlantis ROMs in it because Atlantis wants to talk to a 6803 CPU, and I can't afford to build or spend the time building the cables to connect to that. So I've put Elvira and the Party Monster ROMs in there, and let's boot it up. And you heard the ding, that's a good thing. And let's put it into test. Music test. So those are all the correct sounds for Elvira and the Party Monsters. Let's move on to sound test.
Let's party! Live,
And I like this sound test because it tells you exactly what chip it's testing on the soundboard or on the CPU, whether it's on the sound or music section. So you can see that's all working correctly. So I'm going to get this soundboard, this little interface board, and the Squawk and Talk back to the client. And I thank you so much for sending them.